Hello visionaries, I'm James and I welcome you to my channel. I'd like to thank you for clicking on the link to this video as this is the first video where I'll be discussing patents on YouTube. You can tell by the title that today's patents will be related to the healthcare industry. But before I start discussing the patents in particular, I'd like to let you know that everything I discuss in this video and in future videos is not science fiction, this is real life. And what I mean by that is for a patent to be approved, the patent application has to be sent to the United States Patent Office. At that office, they have experts in every single field. So an expert has to be able to read and understand what the patent is for, and theoretically, they actually have to be able to build the patent. So any patents that get granted aren't some future technology that'll be implemented someday. They all have the technology to be created at the time the patent is granted. So the patents that I'll be discussing today I found in the United States Patent Gazette published April 13th, 2021. The first patent I'm going to discuss is titled Method of an Interactive Health Status Assessment and System Thereof. This patent was granted to Jung-Sen Chiang and Ping-Ching Yang. I'm sorry that I'm mispronouncing their names, but I would like to give them full credit. These two men were granted the patent on behalf of the National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan. I know the title of the patent is not very specific, but I'm going to describe to you what this patent is about. So this patent is for a device powered by artificial intelligence that can interview patients, ask patients follow-up questions based on their responses. It could assess what's wrong with the patient and even offer treatment guidelines. So this patent could be for a robot, it could be for a mobile application, or it could be some other form of device. When you think about what this patent is doing, it's really taking up a lot of the work of doctors, nurses, or other healthcare professionals. So realistically, this could save the healthcare industry millions and possibly billions of dollars a year. This patent could let millions more people afford healthcare. Not only that, but it could also lower taxes for the taxpayers because millions of subsidized dollars of healthcare could be reduced. It's stated within this patent that the purpose of it is to reduce the intensive education system for medical professionals. So that could be really good for doctors and nurses, but on the other hand, doctors and nurses command really high salaries in part because their education is so rigorous. So in the future, I'm not sure if there might be less jobs for doctors and nurses, or if they'll be getting paid the same, or how doctors and nurses would be interacting with these robots or other devices. So in the future, doctor, there's an emergency. That might just mean that the robot ran out of printer paper. I'm really not sure if the doctors and nurses would be in charge of the robots, or the robots would be in charge of the doctors or nurses. Anyway, I don't know if any of you out there have seen the movie Big Hero 6. It's a cartoon movie that came out in 2016. I actually happened to see it recently. I thought it was really good. But if you have seen it, there's a character in the movie that is just like this patent. It's a robot powered by artificial intelligence. It goes around scanning patients and asking them questions and offering them medical treatment. So I don't know these inventors. I don't know if they were inspired by a Disney movie, but it is possible. And maybe it is a good idea for you guys to go watch Disney movies and see if it could inspire you to patent anything. I would like to see what you guys come up with, especially if you watch the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That would be pretty funny. One thing that concerns me with this patent is nowhere in the patent did it ever reference empathy. But I'm sure the inventors and whoever will implement this patent are plenty smart, and I'm sure they'll integrate empathy somewhere in the programming. And the reason why that's important is because patients prefer healthcare professionals that show their patients empathy. But not only that, there's also studies that show when patients perceive their health caretakers as showing empathy, they have quicker and higher recovery rates. I'm sure it'll get figured out. Now I will discuss the second patent, and after that, I will discuss how these patents are related, and I'll talk a little bit about the bigger picture. So, the second patent is titled Mixed Reality Viewing of a Surgical Procedure. This patent was granted to James X. Liu of New York, New York. So what this patent is for is a device to be used in surgery. It's going to have a couple of cameras on it and lights to be inserted into a patient. And since it has multiple cameras, the cameras will be able to determine how far the distance of everything inside the body is. So instead of the surgeon performing surgery directly, the surgeon's going to wear an alternate reality or virtual reality headset, and he's going to be performing surgery on a real live patient in virtual reality. So you might be sitting there saying, well, there's already patients that get surgery with cameras inserted in their body, and they have lights inserted in their body for surgery. And well, the other thing, virtual reality's been out for a couple years. So that's what I want you to think, because that's the truth. This man did a great job of looking around, seeing the technology that exists, and combining it in a way to make it better. There's an old quote, I was told it's from Isaac Newton, that says, if you want to do something great, stand on the shoulder of giants. And this patent is a great example of what that quote means. Because he took everything together and he stood on the shoulders of the technology that already exists to make something even better. The big takeaway from these two patents is that the future of medicine is going to be very different than the medical practices we have today. Likely, medical treatment will be much less expensive and it will probably be more accurate. As far as job availabilities in the future, it seems as though technology will continue to reduce the need for employees. On one hand, that seems like a bad thing, but on the other hand, it seems like universal basic income might be the solution. On one hand, universal basic income seems impractical, but on the other hand, it seems like the only solution. So that is something that might be realistic in the future. There are different types of thinkers in the world. Some people prefer to think about the fine details of things, while others prefer to think about the bigger picture. As we go through individual patents, we're really looking at them under a microscope, but I myself prefer to think about things as a bigger picture. So we can't go through all the patents, but as we go through and I pick out a couple different patents to share with you, we can put them together to paint a bigger picture of what the future will look like. So as I make more videos on this channel, I'll be going through different fields and picking out patents that are different from each other and that are unique from each other to keep it interesting. But the major themes that we saw in these two patents, I think we'll be seeing across many fields. So what we discussed was robots, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. I believe those three things will be pervasive throughout society, and it's going to change many, if not all, industries in the future, and we'll likely be seeing some more patents along those lines that incorporate these themes into them in the future. That's the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, leave any comments down below, and if you have any requests that any sort of topics you want me to cover, just let me know. Thank you. Until next time, take care and have a nice day. Goodbye.